What's going on, guys? I'm Shane and this is Spare Change. Here on the channel, we discuss all things audio and video, from new hardware to new movies. So if it's your first time here, consider subscribing for new weekly videos. In for a review, we have Shazam on 4K digital streaming. I won't be going over any story details. I'm just going to share with you my thoughts on the video and the audio quality. But before we get into it, I want to send a shout out to all of our Patreon supporters who helped us make this digital purchase possible. Thanks, guys. Now for a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 3.4K. It's got a 2K DI. It's rated PG-13. Runtime is 132 minutes. Aspect ratio is 239:1, so there are black bars in this one. Alright, the image quality in this was decent. I'm not exactly sure if it's because it's a digital stream or not, but I thought it was only slightly better than a really good-looking Blu-ray. The usual suspects such as close-ups were good, but fall a few notches short of DC's last movie, Aquaman. Those little fine details like wrinkles, pores, etc. just wasn't always there, although Shazam's costume did have some pretty discernible texturing up close. And there was one thing that I didn't notice at the theater, was how that lightning bolt on his chest shifted colors and kind of moved around. The digital effects were noticeably digital and sometimes felt out of place, but they were clean nonetheless. Now, there is a very fine layer of digital grain, or noise if you prefer, throughout the entire movie, and the image is just kind of soft a lot of times. But as far as HDR usage in either HDR10 or Dolby Vision, I found the picture to be very bright. It's not like some HDR movies that come off dimmer than the standard Blu-ray. Your primary colors do pop, with Shazam's red costume appearing bright and bold. Spectral highlights like Shazam's lightning fingers can get blindingly bright, and that flashback scene with that wizard was one of the standout moments. Shadow detail I thought was excellent in all of those dark scenes, with some satisfying contrast to add extra depth to the image.
My name is Shazam.
Audio was in Dolby Atmos, and I thought it was moderately active in the height speakers. Most of the time, the surrounds and the overhead channels were used for ambiance, but they do kick in during those heavy action scenes. When the deadly sins are talking, you can hear them surround the sides of the listening area as well as the overheads. And there is a scene where Dr. Sivana flies up in the air with Shazam, and you can clearly hear him fly off above your head. Bass response was really deep whenever the deadly sin spoke, and that shot when Shazam finds out that he can fly went infrasonic and shook the hairs on my arm. So bass response can get pretty aggressive at times. Soundstage was spacious and detailed, and dialogue was always easy to hear. So for audio, I'm gonna go with an 8.2. I thought there was a good mix of surround and height channel effects, but I just wasn't blown away by it, although bass was pretty killer. For video, I'm gonna go with an 8. It wasn't the sharpest or the cleanest 4K that I've seen, but you do get a nice bright HDR image with some really good pop. It doesn't have that Aquaman HDR vividness, so I don't think that you'll be breaking this movie out to impress your neighbors. The color palette was just more natural with some splashes of vibrancy. Now, of course, the question is, buy the digital now or wait for the physical copy? If you just can't wait, then the digital isn't such a bad option. Although I'd like to see if the physical disc is sharper with better detail, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. If you guys want to grab this movie on VUDU or on 4K Blu-ray, I'll leave some links for it down below in the description. Leave us a comment and let us know if you're looking forward to seeing this movie, and if you've seen it, how do you think it stacks up against the other DC movies? Follow us on social media, and if you want to support the channel and help us bring you more videos like this, then stop by our Patreon page. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys again in the next one.